Welcome to today's live. All right. If you guys don't know me or you're new, I am Sarah Jones. I am a mindset coach here at Celestial Wellness Studio. If you're not here in the hub with us, please join us in the group. You know, um, so today we're going to be talking about one of my favorite things to do or favorite things to encounter in life, which is canceled plans. If you are an introvert, you love canceled plans. But if you are an introvert or somebody who struggles with anxiety, canceled plans are like our best friend. And that's not because we don't like to do things. It's our anxiety tends to spend all those times between the time we made the plan to the time we actually have to show up for it. Um, it just, our anxiety explodes in our head every single day. And the closer and closer we get to it, the worse it is, right? I hate that. I can't tell you the number of times that I've made plans and canceled them. I've said, yes, I'm going to do this, and then I don't show up. It's a struggle. And it used to be a struggle because I felt like it was a lot of social anxiety, but I struggle to answer my phone sometimes. I struggle to show up to virtual stuff, to stuff where you don't even know I'm there. I struggle to show up to job interviews, all these things. Hang out with my family. I mean, hello, they're my family. I shouldn't have anxiety over that, right? But I do. And I know that many of you out there feel the same way. So, first, I'm going to tell you something that I have learned. The anticipation of whatever the thing is almost always worse than the thing itself. Almost always. Sometimes I don't cancel plans and I get there and I'm just my anxiety, the anticipation. I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to be here. I don't want to do this. And then I have a great time. And I realized that it was just my anxiety screwing with me. And I'm so glad that I didn't miss out on whatever the thing is. But there are some times where our anxiety gets in the way and we need to cancel. We need to not show up. So we're going to talk about different ways here to cancel like a pro. you know, um, if you don't talk about your anxiety or your issues with people, they don't know that it's a problem for you. And they may take it personally when you cancel plans on them. So I've learned to talk about that with my family, with my friends, with, people that I trust, and they know that I have anxiety about coming to things. And I've learned that some of my family and friends have the same anxiety about going to things, and I didn't know that. So talk about it. Talk about it. Be open about it. Um, but let's talk about some things here. So there's different levels of canceling that we can deal with. And that depends on our relationship with the person that we're canceling with, and the events we're canceling on. So there's a few rules that we want to discuss before I tell you how to cancel like a pro. Okay. First rule is you cannot cancel on a wedding ever. Cannot cancel on a wedding. That is like the ultimate slap in the face to the people who are getting married. If you have said yes to a wedding, you show up to the wedding unless you are gravely, deathly ill. Okay. Now, number two, if someone paid for you to show up or to go to something, okay, and you cancel at the last minute, you absolutely have to pay them back and buy them some drinks. Okay. um, you have to. They paid for you to be there and you canceled. So you definitely have to make that up to them. All right. If it's a group thing and It's still kind of the same rules. So you paid to go to like this group thing. You still have to pay that person back that paid for you to show up, but it's probably not going to be as bad because, they have other people to hang out with. All right. If you canceled something and you actually wanted to go, but just couldn't go at that time, you have to be the one to reinitiate the rescheduling. Okay. Don't put it on that other person. They're already dealing with your cancellation. Okay. So don't ask for a rain check. Give them a concrete date. Like, I can't make it to this. I'm sorry, but let's reschedule on this day. All right. Now, if you never intended to actually do the thing and you know that this person's going to keep reaching out to you over and over and over, all right, you need to be direct with this person. You need to tell them, you know what, I'm putting my social calendar on the back burner right now. I'm not making plans with people. I have to focus on X, Y, and Z. So this way they're not continually reaching out to you and driving you crazy, and you're not driving them crazy by not answering or not showing up or making plans and not going. It's a simple, like, you don't have to say you don't want to do the thing. You can just say, I'm not making plans right now. Okay. And so those are like the basic rules. Don't cancel on weddings, pay people back, give them a little something extra. If you're canceling on somebody and then you wanted to go, make sure you do the rescheduling. And if it's something you don't want to do and you don't want to tell the person you don't want to do it, just say, I'm not making plans right now. I'm not doing anything. I'm not putting things on my social calendar. I have something else that needs to be tended to. Real simple. Okay. So now that we established the rules, here's your 4 tips that you need to actually cancel things like a pro. Number 1, you have to commit to the cancel. Okay. Before you reach out, you have to commit to the cancel. You're going to give them a response, and hopefully they'll accept that response and not kind of shift the blame and guilt, like try to guilt you into coming, or not canceling. You have to be direct. You have to use phrases like, I cannot do this, not I don't think, or don't do, if it's okay with you. We want to nix those, not use those at all. So practice your dialogue of what you're going to say. If they're being real pushy, you can always say, listen, if I change my mind, I'll let you know. But I hear you. It's something that I just can't commit to at this time. I'm not mentally and emotionally available to do this with you right now. So those are the kind of things you want to say. Be committed, know what you're going to say, and say it. Okay. Number 2, if you're over explaining, that's going to lead to some suspicious behavior. You want to keep it simple. I'm not telling you to lie, but little white lies maybe sometimes are needed when we're canceling plans. But the more details you give them, you may not want to tell somebody that I have anxiety, I don't want to come to this, or maybe I'm having maybe I got my period, I'm having a really shitty day and I just want to lay in bed all day and watch movies. Sometimes that's not an acceptable reason to cancel on somebody. So you may have to come up with something else. Keep it simple. The more details you tend to give, the more it seems like you're not telling the truth. And, maybe you'll have to re-give those details later on. If you see that person, they're going to ask you, oh, hey, how you feeling? Or, hey, what happened? So keep it simple. Number 3, if you have known the person for fewer than 3 months, they're allowed to give you a few jabs on the cancellation. Okay. They can, maybe use a little emoji, a sad emoji. They're allowed to, give them that. You've hurt their feelings. But you can use words here like rain check or something came up without any further explanation. Number 4, if you've known the person for 6 months to, years, they are allowed to pry a little bit about the whyness of your cancellation. Okay. And you have the choice to be honest or to lie, depending on how close you are to this person. But always go with the truth. Just mention that you're taking a mental health break. People are understanding that more and more now. It seems like it's becoming more and more acceptable to say, I need a mental health day. I need to take care of myself today. I cannot show up for this today. Good friends, if you have good friends, they'll understand. I had a friend who I thought was a good friend, and we were on the same page. Like, sometimes I can't show up. I can't be there every day. I can't be there all the time. I'm not real good with needy friends who need to talk to me every day, who need my attention often. It's very difficult for me. I'm not that friend. And I know that about myself, and I share that with people. And I had a friend, and we were kind of on that same page. We would see each other when we saw each other. We would talk. Not that I'm going to ignore you, if you reach out or anything like that. But I mean, I got back to you right away. And it ended up being a problem because it got to a point where she wanted all of my attention. And it came between us, So always be on the same page with people and remind them that, sometimes I need to cancel plans. I also have like what I like to call 12 o'clock plans. And 12 o'clock plans are those plans that you make like around noon. And you're like, yeah, later on, we're going to go for a 5-mile walk with the dog, And then after work comes and you're like, what? No, why? What was I thinking? I forgot I'm going to be tired after work and I'm just going to want to eat, take a quick walk and then relax, So watch out for those 12 o'clock plans that you may tend to make. And the other thing too, that's really important to work on is saying yes only to the things that you want to show up for, that you want to do. How often do you find yourself saying yes as an automatic response to things? I know I do. We want to get out of the habit of doing that. When somebody asks you something, pause. Practice pausing and thinking about that before you say yes. And not feeling guilty if it's something you don't want to do or you can't do. It's okay to say no to people. Okay? Please remember that. Yeah, that's how to cancel plans like a pro, because the universe doesn't always cancel those plans for us. So try not to make plans that you don't want to say yes to or commit to. If you can't show up, commit to that. Tell the person you can't show up, share the truth, or share something else, whatever works for you, depending on the situation. Keep it simple, keep it short. Never cancel on a wedding. Always pay somebody back if they have put up money for what you're going to do, and try to enjoy the day that you cancel and get your shit together that day. So thank you so much for joining me. I don't see any questions here. So where am I getting this information besides my own life? This is the book that we're working with, Don't Fucking Panic. It is the most helpful book I have found when it comes to tips and tricks on how to deal with my anxiety and depression. There's also stuff in here about panic attacks. So if you have panic attacks, this is the book for you. The link is in the video description to grab it. It is on Amazon for $9.99. Best $10 I've ever spent. Okay. Thank you for joining me today. If you're joining me on YouTube, be sure to subscribe. I'm going to be doing these videos 5 days a week soon. So hopefully you're here and I'm helping you out. Leave your questions or comments, in the comment section, and I will always answer them for you. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope y'all have a great day.